Hello, welcome to this week's edition of WCS Sports Connection. I'm your co-host, Jeremy Qualls, and with me, as always, is our resident expert, Tate Mathews. Tate, football season's over, but we got one more thing to talk about to wrap this thing up completely, put a bow on it. It's Christmas time almost. The Tennessee East-West All-Star Game. We had three guys. Seems to me this year we had a little bit of a low number participating, but we had three guys get offered spots in this game. Eli Katina of Centennial, Caden Williams of Franklin, and Landon Guidry of Independence. What do we know about this game?
Well, the West won, and they got up really big, got up over 20 points against the East, and then they came back a little bit. You know, the All-Star games, if you've ever watched one, they're heavily geared in favor of offense.
Sure.
Kind of hard to play defense, so. But they got up, and then they let them come back a little bit. But all three of them, got a lot of really good reviews from all the coaches that were on the staff, both sides, but really on the West side. And things we already knew about them. They're all three really good players. The college coaches can't come to the actual All-Star game, but they can come during the week to watch practice. And from what I understand, all three of them really did well.
Which seems a little bit backwards,
I know,
if you ask me,
but we're dealing with the NFHS and the TWCAA, and so I mean, I didn't mean to say, well, yeah, NFHS and NCAA. So
That's
I mean,
right.
Is that a surprise?
No.
Okay. So you got, when you look at these three, Landon Guidry, he already knows what he's doing, going to Mississippi State, and then Eli and Caden, it was another chance for them to get some really good looks for some good people, and from what I can tell, they all did well. But everything I hear, it's the TACA, I believe it is, Tennessee, right. Or maybe it's the TNFCA, the football coaches, or both of them. And Toyota,
involved, right.
they do
Toyota
a great job. Bill Marbett, Billy Marbett and them, they do a great job with
Southern
it.
Athletic Fields.
Southern Athletic Fields, that's right. And they do a great job with it, and they all had a lot of fun. And Coach Brian Rector, who used to be at Centennial, he was on the staff, and he talked about how great all three of them did when I was talking to him. So Eli and Caden, they're going to end up somewhere good. We just don't know where yet.
Speaking of them, Eli right now, I would say, and this is an opinion, Air Force probably the best offer on the table currently right now. Kennesaw State came in and offered this past weekend. Caden Williams, I know Western Kentucky, maybe a few others in the mix for Caden Williams. Like you said, I think that he will have an opportunity to make several choices out of that group.
Yeah, and you hate that that's the way it works, but what'll happen is the dominoes will start falling, and they're both gonna, if they'll be patient, and I think they will. Air Force, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
No.
if you, but
if you had an opportunity to watch, I know you've seen it in the past. I think it's something that me and you need to go to and see in person one day. The Army-Navy game this past weekend. I mean, that is truly, anytime you have an opportunity to play for the Armed Forces. We've got some kids that are playing for Navy right now. Independence kid from a few years back. Matter of fact, it was before I took the job. If you'll help me remember his name, he's playing on the Navy football team right now, the roster. But anyway, John Carter going to be playing at Navy. I'm not sure that the Navy Army basketball.
Who's the greatest Navy basketball player of all time?
Bobby Knight.
Really? I'm going to go with
No.
David Robinson.
David Robinson. Pardon me. Pardon me.
Bobby
Coach K,
coached Army.
Coach K was also on that Army staff as well.
Well, and he played for him, too.
I got messed up.
Too, yeah.
David Robinson, the Admiral, absolutely was the best player to ever play. Who's the best football player to ever play on the Navy? Only Heisman winner.
Roger Staubach.
Okay, thank you.
I thought you were going to say Keenan Reynolds.
No. Roger Staubach was the only Heisman winner in Navy history. But my point is being, you get to serve your country.
Yep.
What a special event they have on those things. I mean, to get into those armed forces would be it's not just a cakewalk, because obviously you have to sign and do some service time that is involved in that. But the education you get out of it, the life skills, just fill in the blank is numerous.
Well, and you see the attention that it gets with all the major sports networks, and then it's on pretty much just outside of the FCS playoffs. It's the only football game on. Speaking of Dr. Defense, Donnie Webb and his offense corner Dan Winfrey, they were there, and they said if you've never been, they said you need to do it. Get there early, watch the cadets come in.
Well, it was a perfect game for them, because all the passes that I've watched happened in warm-ups.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the fastest first half of football you've ever seen, because there were 0 passes. So that's right down Dr. Defense's alley.
A lot of play action,
triple options out this way, whatever. But a lot of fun. good stuff.
And Caden's got a lot of, I believe, doesn't he? He's getting some Ivy League looks.
I want to say that Yale and Columbia both may have come in on that. Right now, recruiting on football, Max Ray right now has his pick of the run. Whoever he wants to get.
Right.
Alabama all the way down have offered. His little brother, freshman, going to be a sophomore. Everybody has offered. What a package combo deal that could possibly be in the future if that works out that way. So on the recruiting, watch those guys right now. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Basketball. It's basketball time. It's your favorite sport. We're going to talk a little bit about basketball on the girls' side, the boys' side. Who's going to be the dark horse of the WCS Sports Conference? Right now on the boys' side, we have a dark horse moving into a contender and a other top 4 contender moving into the dark horse, changing positions right now.
A lot of movement.
Huh?
A lot of movement.
A lot of movement, but it's awful early. It's just the first game of the season was last week in the district, so we're going to try to do a little roundup for you in that. Let's start on the girls' side. Brentwood. Brentwood's sitting right now at 3-6, 0-1 in the district play. Only one district game up until this point. Lost 41-31 to Ravenwood in the Battle of the Woods. They do have wins over Beach, Easel, Harding, and Overton. Right now, the Lady Bruins are fighting behind to get to 500. It is early, but it's not going to get any easier when we get into district play.
No, this district's gotten better. We watched it in the boys, and now we've seen it in the girls. And for so long, they were just it was Brentwood and everybody else. And I think that's you attribute that to we've got some really good coaching now on the girls' side, and we've got some better basketball players on the girls' side that we used to have. So, the Ravenwood game used to be a given. That was the Battle of the Woods. That was a given on the girls' side. Brentwood was going to get it. Coach Harris has really done a great job there, and that thing's it's a battle every time they play now. So, big win for them. Again, you're the basketball guy. I know this. When you have a player that can score, and Kiara Downey can score, that's always an advantage in your favor going into a rivalry game like that.
Sure, anytime. And you could throw the records out, too. So this is not a true indicator of how good or bad either one of these teams are. Right. We really don't know. The jury's still out on either one of these teams, Brentwood and Ravenwood both, because of the fact this game brings so much attention. Matter of fact, to the attention of nationally recognized, if you will, Twitter accounts that retweet the videos and the pictures of the student section of these games. I mean, they really are second to none. If you haven't ever been to a Battle of the Woods game, you need to try it out. And if you attempt to go, you better get there at least an hour, if not before the game, to even get your seat.
Or you're not literally, like you're not getting in the gym.
The fire marshal shuts it down. And
right.
Their standing room only in the out in the lobby. You can't see the game from there. You can hear it. But it's one of the best atmospheres you will ever see. And I'm not sure that it's not better at Brentwood, not because of the student section, because of the size. The gym is a little bit smaller than Ravenwood, so it really feels like you've got 5,000 people on top of you. Ravenwood's a little bigger, so it's still a great atmosphere. But in all the atmospheres I've been in some good ones. West Tennessee are hard to top. The difference is that the student sections here are organized. They have their leaders. They have a theme.
Right.
You don't see that in West Tennessee. It's just literally hanging from the rafters, deep, 10 deep, anywhere you can get a seat to see some type of action, hopefully a couple dunks, hopefully a couple of this going on. And I've literally seen games have to be stopped to get the court clean because of a dunk. So, it's a lot of fun when you go to West Tennessee. Here it's just totally different. You've got the chants, the cheers going on, and they are ruthless.
Right.
If you ever open up a can of give them a drop of blood,
don't airball a free throw.
They are going to be on you from the time it starts to the time it ends, and they have no shame, and it's ruthless.
Yeah.
It actually proves the home court advantage in basketball.
Well, and social media has changed everything, but that as well. That now they see where best top student sections or whatever that Twitter account was.
That's it.
They retweeted a video of Brentwood's, and it was impressive. It looked like a college. It looked like the Cameron Crazies.
It's exactly right.
And that just added fuel to the fire. So they're going to try to top it next time.
Oh, at Ravenwood. They had a Hawaiian out, so it looked like you had 5,000 Hawaiian people getting off a Carnival cruise and getting out there and start jumping around because they all look the same. So I think last year, Ravenwood had a toga out. So it'd be interesting to see at the Battle of the Woods. I think it's on January 26th to see what the theme is, to see how many people are there. It is truly, truly something. I haven't seen it duplicated.
And the thing that's made it better also is traditionally, it's just the way it is. You have a better attendance at the boys' game than you do the girls' game. Well, what this is forced is, if you want to be there for that boys' game, you better get there for the girls' game.
You better actually get there for the JV game.
The JV game, that's right.
So,
that's good. I think that's great.
It
they sell
draws
popcorn.
attention. Yeah, it draws attention to everybody.
Yep.
So, Brentwood, like I said, 3-6, 0-1 in district early on, lost to Ravenwood. Centennial, Coach Tony Hill, can't say enough about what he's done thus far in the job that he's done at Centennial. 4-2, 1-0 in the district. Big win over Independence the other night. They have won 3 in a row. Chantel Fly, remember that name? We've talked about her for 2 years now.
Right.
Chantel Fly is now a junior, long, lanky, rangy, fast, great on-ball defender. Gets out, runs the floor real well. What I saw the other night, I had an opportunity to see him play against Independence. Could play the top in a little bit of a zone or in the man. Obviously, she'll be guarding a guard. So if there's a tee-up or a shot and rebound, she's out quick. Rebound, turn, and outlet, and they're looking for her, beating people down the floor. She did that a lot the other night and got a lot of easy, close baskets. But Centennial could sure ruin some plans for a lot of people going in, because right now, the Lady Cougars are not on a lot of people's radar.
No, and we talked about it all last year. They'd never had a season like that ever in Lady Cougars basketball, and now they're building upon it. And so, you sit there and you look at 1-3 in a row. I mean, there was a time now where that
didn't win 3 seasons.
Didn't win 3 in a season, and they're winning 3 in a row. And that's where they've upped the expectations, and they expect to win 3 in a row. That's fun to watch. And Chantel, she's different than the Downey girl, but again, a player that can score. Now, like you said, she's going to get out and run, and not very many people are going to keep up with her, but she can put up points. And when you don't have to, you've probably had teams like that, when you don't have to manufacture baskets every possession. It just makes it a little bit easier to get those W's.
He's got a little bit of size as well. Has a post player there. Obviously, we don't have the names. Forgive us for not having the names, but we will touch on this later. But he's got a little bit of size right now. He's got the quickness. He's got some pieces of the puzzle there now. I really think against a better defensive team, he might struggle to score a little bit, and that's not uncommon this time of season.
Right.
That's going to come. As the season progresses, you're going to have people that's going to be able to shoot at a higher percentage and do things better as the team starts to gel. So Centennial's going to be in the mix, and I'm telling you, they're going to have a chance to ruin some people's plans of probably finishing higher than what they thought they were going to do at the first, and Centennial could have a possibility of being in the mix. When you look at the top 5 teams out of the 7, Centennial's going to be right there.
I would agree.
And they beat Independence the other night, 50-31. Who Independence as well is another team that's going to play spoiler as well for this year's out. They've kind of been in rebuild mode for the last few years. But before we get to them, let's talk about Franklin right now. Franklin 5-3, Coach Barnwell's group. 0-1, lost to Dixon. Dixon is I would say, preseason, early season favorite right now to win the district. Pop the brakes on that, because I'm not so sure that Franklin won't get them again. They're going to have to get a little bit of help from somebody else. Somebody's going to have to beat Dixon. I think Dixon has more than one loss coming to them in the district, but that's about it. So to win the district this year in the basketball, I think in the girls' side, 2 losses will get you an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Any more than that, you sealed your fate.
Yep. You're probably looking at playing for second place. And again, same story. Holly Harris, that's their go-to player, and she's a good one. Her mother, Ann Harris, makes the best banana pudding in Williamson County. If you didn't already know that,
I didn't know that.
You need to go down and butter her up. She might make you
We
some.
need to get her entered into the Banana
really,
Pudding
really good.
Festival of Hickman County.
Hickman County.
Banana Pudding Festival.
Well, she's right upstairs from you. You need to go talk to her
That's
about
true.
it. But Holly, great player. So another one that can score. And Coach Barnwell, you look at his coaching resume. They know how to win. So you're right, though. You get more than about 2 losses in this district, and you're probably playing for second place.
Absolutely. Holly Harris also getting some traction from some teams on every level, NAIA level, Division I, Division II, Division III, as well as Chantel Fly. Be interested to watch the Lady Rebels as they progress through the season. I really predict them right now to be one of the few teams that will rival Dixon for that shot in the top 2 spots.
Well, and it's always nice when you don't have to see Crystal Dangerfield anymore. So that even the playing, not Crystal Dangerfield. She was at
that's
Blackman.
when you do the Ruco show with Tim Tackett.
With Kreger.
Kreger, sorry. I apologize,
what was her
WCS
name?
Sports people. I know you love Tate, but he just made a very, very cardinal sin against us.
What was her name? The good Dixon County player that's at Vanderbilt.
Actually, she went to Vanderbilt. I can't think of it because all I can think of is you talking about Rutherford County.
Pardon me.
I'll think of it here in a minute. But yes, she is
Lily Carter.
Lily Carter. The two guard is back.
It's nice when you don't have to see Lily Carter.
The two guard's back. I'm telling you, the two guard is as good. Actually, she was the district MVP last year. Lily was not. The two guard that is starting now.
Peyton Groves, I think.
No.
No.
And then you also have a junior post, big-bodied girl that's really good in the post. So they've got two good players there.
Sure.
But, you get to return the MVP. The window margin of error, if you will, for Dixon is very small if you're playing them. So you have to make sure to capitalize. And this Franklin game was close. It's battle back and forth. I think Franklin had to play from behind a little bit. They spotted them some points early. Can't do that with a Dixon team.
And you probably better beat them at home because they don't lose very many at Dixon.
Right. Independence 3-6, 0-1. Mary Beth White's team lost to Centennial the other night. They did win 3 in a row. However, before that, Siegel, Cane Ridge, and Columbia. Good wins for her.
Yes.
Their program has struggled in the past. She feels really good about her team right now. She's excited about it. I'm excited for her. I know it's not any fun when you have rebuilding mode year after year, but she feels like this young team right now has got enough experience from last year coming through that got a chance to win some games.
I agree, and they will win some games this year. Same thing as kind of Centennial. I mean, the way it's been, when you win 3 in a row over there, that's you can tell progress is being made. She's more athletic than she's been in the past. And, she's been to the state tournament a couple times at Antioch. She knows what she's doing.
Ravenwood 4-4. Mariska Harris, you touched on her just a little bit ago, 1-0. Done a great job out there for the Lady Raptors. Beat Brentwood 41-31. Kiera Downey has joined the 1,000-point club. Now, you're talking about a young lady that is a ball player, very good athlete, that literally will have to take this team and put them on her shoulders for wins. Had a season-ending injury last year. Now back, recovered from that. Looks to be going pretty good.
Do we know junior or senior?
She is a junior.
Junior, missed time last year. It's not like in the girls' games they're averaging 80 points a game, and she's already broke 1,000 points. That's all you need to know.
That's correct. And I believe Ravenwood will be right in the heat of
middle
of the pack, if not top of the pack before it's over with. Summit 3-5, 0-0. Right now have not played a district game. Games against Dixon this week. Hunters Lane, Fairview, Glencliff are some wins there. Z. Esmond, I want you to remember this name, Marley Anderson, freshman off the WMAA champions last year, Spring Station, starting at guard position for them. She's going to be a player before her career is up. She will have plenty of times her name will be called.
We already know about Z. Esmond. Coach Kerry Goodwin takes over as the head coach. Here's something you need to know. If those 5 losses worry you, she's already played Stewart's Creek. She's already played Riverdale. They might be the 2 best teams in the state. Tough schedule. They've already been tested. Summit's going to be fine.
But they'll pay off for her in a long run.
Right.
She's got a good young team now. She has a good young core coming from Spring Station. The future is bright for the Lady Spartans. Old Sparty going to be on the map. Fairview right now 1-7, 1-2. They did beat Hickman County. Got a chance to see that game. Right now they are in that mode of that's a tough district. Anytime you play in that rural AA district, girls basketball or volleyball is not prevalent.
That's right.
Girls basketball is tough.
Real tough.
And they've got a schedule that is not favorable to anyone that has to play in that AA circuit. So Lady Jackets right now 1-7. Page, Ron Brock and his team 5-4, 0-1 in the district play right now. They, in the same vein, that rural AA district, brutal. Nolensville, Giles County, CPA, Marshall County. I mean, that's Murder's Row in Middle Tennessee and AA
took Marshall
basketball.
County. It took CPA to overtime last week. So
right.
I mean, it goes to show he feels good. You can tell by talking to him. He really likes his team this year. So they've gotten better. CPA is one of the top AA teams AA teams in the state on the girls' side. And to take them to overtime, you can tell that they're close.
Nolensville right now at 500 at 5-5 have won 4 straight, beat Fairview at number 22 ranked Eagleville in that run. Also had a AAA win over Siegel. Now I want you to, we keep saying the same message. Freshmen, sophomores. Most of these people that are sophomores, I can promise you, have never played a meaningful varsity basketball minute in their lives. and they're sitting at 5-5.
5-5 with a win over at AAA Ruco.
And for those that may not know, Chris Ladd, former boys coach at Summit, has taken over the girls' duties at Nolensville, and
doing a really good job.
To be 5-5 right now at this time of season for that is pretty remarkable.
Well, I would have thought probably, freshman and sophomore, first year of the school, you probably sitting there thinking, if I can get 5 wins in the season.
It's a win. Win-win for everybody.
Now he's got to win one more.
He's got to win one more. He's 5-5. We just jinxed him. I'm sure he'll let us know about that. On the boys' side, in 11 AAA, man, you talking about top heavy. This is going to be, we say this, it seems like we're a broken record. It's going to be fun to see last year. This is going to be, there's more parity this year than we've ever probably had since I've been here in the boys basketball side.
And not because we're down, because we got that many that are up.
That's correct. Let's start with Brentwood. Brentwood is moving from the dark horse to contender because we had them as dark horse. I had them as a dark horse early in the year when we kind of predicted the top 4 of making some noise, but they're 10-1 right now.
10-1, won 6 in a row. Big win in the Battle of the Woods. So Brentwood got the boys' side on that and won at 50-33. If you look
wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close. And if you look at Ravenwood's scores earlier in the season, 33, I would think is probably their season low. That goes to show Brentwood can play some defense. Kellen King.
Well, just to think at one point in time, Elon Smallwood
was averaging 33.
Was averaging 31.
Was he?
For the first 3 games.
Well, there you go.
So, they're 10-1. They're ranked in the top 10 in 3 different separate polls right now in the state, AAA. Lost to MICDS out of Missouri by 3 in the Thanksgiving tournament. It's the only loss. Came out of state. Nobody would have thought that they would be in this position at this early of the year, have kind of in that rebuilding mode, if you will. But I'm going to leave you with a name. Because right now he's just kind of finding his way by the end of this season, going into next season. Harry Lackey is going to be a super, super stud for Brentwood before this thing's over with. He's a freshman, and he's going to be good.
He can jump out of the gym.
He can, and he's going to continue to grow. He's going to continue to get better. He's in the rotation right now. I think he is. Coach Shirley told me that he's starting to pick up some minutes, starting to play a little better to go along with the guys that they have right now. And Brentwood's going to be fun to watch.
And that's going to be big. You talked about how many teams we've got on the boys' side that could be contenders. I think depth is going to play a big role on the boys' side this year, and that goes a long way towards it right there.
That's a very astute statement. And that is,
thank you.
That's the truth of the statement. The truth of the situation is that, because when we break these down, I want you just to look at that, because we've got right now 4 teams with 1 loss. 1 loss between 4 teams.
Pretty good.
And each team each has a loss.
4 losses, 4 teams.
What's going to happen is it's going to come down to who has got the best 8th, 9th, 10th player. Maybe even come back to the 7th player, because there's going to become a night where we're going to be tired, we're going to have foul trouble, whatever the case may be. That 7th, 8th, 9th player is going to make the difference in the game. That's where I think Brentwood has an edge right now. Harry Lackey coming off the bench as your 7th, 8th, 9th player. That's pretty good.
You can win with that.
You can win with that. And I'll be interested to see how that goes. Centennial right now, 1-5, 0-1. Coach Froden and his group beat Glen Cliff. Now, don't sleep on the Cougars just yet.
No.
2 freshmen heavily in the rotation. Jariel Wilson, Devion Chrisman, Tavion Fleming starting right now in the 1, 2, and 3 spot. And then you've got Trey Pearson right now. Do not sleep on him. Freshman, super fresh team. Diaper Dandies, if we have a Diaper Dandies team.
I think we ought to have a Diaper Dandy team.
And Harry Lackey. And there's one other guy, the name escapes me right now, that plays for Centennial that's going to be a good basketball player too. Centennial will play spoiler to somebody before this thing's over that's going to cost somebody a slot in the seatings.
Well, when half your team or half your players that play meaningful minutes are football guys, you can't worry about December. You start worrying about in January. Pete Froden, it's been a while since he's done that. He was at Hillsboro, and that's what he had to do. He won a lot of games with those football guys. He's not worried about that. He's worried about January, February.
Coach Darren Joins at Franklin, 6-2, 1-0, beat Dixon 71-56. That's a huge district win for them. Yes. They have now moved into that dark horse spot, if you ask me. Didn't really know the jury was out on those guys. Didn't think they would be super successful. But right now, the start that they have, get a little confidence going. They have some great shooters. This team right here can be interesting to watch and also make some noise in the top 5 spots as well. He likes to run that patented 1-3-1 zone. That gives people fits. If you haven't, even if you have practiced and prepared for it, when you get in the game, it's still a different animal, and it's really tough to get themselves ready for Franklin. Keep an eye on them. 6-2.
I'm excited about them.
Independence 7-1. Coach Glass is Group 1-0 right now. Beat Centennial tonight 56-47. Murphy, the usual suspects of guys they have there. Depth's going to be a problem for him before it's over with. I think that right now they're the favorite going in as far as how far they made it last year. They returned a lot of guys. Of course, Malcolm Walker, Patrick Murphy are now gone. Patrick being in jail. But you got Greg Scott coming back. You've got Jeremiah. You got some guys that have pieces of the puzzle there. I just think that depth's going to play a problem with them, so it'll be interesting to see how Independence Eagles do. Ravenwood 6-1, 0-1, lost to Brentwood, but I want you to hear some of these wins. You're talking about quality wins. Mount Juliet, Pearl Cone, Stratford at Stratford, and Overton. Coach Whitlock, quality wins. Elon Smallwood, very well-coached team, very heads-up, IQ, savvy team. Ravenwood, you can book it. Top 4 spots. When it comes down to it, man, it is going to be a grind in a district tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Old Sparty, 7-1. They have not played a district game yet. Lost to Hillsboro 58-57. Big wins, Wilson Central, Rossview, Glencliff, Riverdale. Old Sparty is going to be a contender for the #1 spot. DeMonte Dixon, John Carter, Ty Carter. The list goes on and on and on, but not too far. And that's what worries me right now about Coach Josh Goodwin taking over the boys' job. Do a tremendous job there. I just hope and pray that as he gets deeper into the play, that the depth doesn't bother him.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. And when you look, the South looks like they might have more firepower. Up north looks like they might have more depth.
That's right.
It's a long season.
That's right. That's right. Jaden Lewis, another playing really good for them. So it's going to be, it's going to be.
They talked a lot about the time they spent in the weight room this offseason. This is where we're going to see it pay off.
We're going to see it, and I look forward to seeing these guys play. I haven't had an opportunity to see them play in person yet. I saw them play preseason, but they look to be good. Fairview 3-5, 1-2, big win at Nolensville tonight, 76-2. The team at Fairview right now, the Jackets, they're pretty good. I've had an opportunity to see them play. Jared Jones right now coaching them. They're going to play spoiler to a lot of people as well. Page 5-4, Coach No, his first year there, beat BGA. A loss to CPA in a close one. They're going to make some noise in District 12, AA in Nolensville. Guys, I hate that we're rushing through this. We're gonna have plenty of time as the season progresses to talk about you guys. 5-4 in District 12 AA. Wins over Eagleville, Mount Pleasant, Siegel. Lost to number 5 ranked Watertown by 6. Unbelievable what they have done at this point, Wes Burton and his club.
Coach Lambert learned. He was paying attention.
Wes Lambert, sorry, I said Wes Burton.
He was taking notes from old B. Wirt up there at Blackman and got him a win over Siegel. That's big. And my man Larry No, win over BGA at Page. That was a big win. Good for him. He's doing great things too.
B. Wirt.
B. Wirt, coach.
He's going to get it done. His tree goes deep. His roots goes deep. Guys are coming out from under him, being successful. And we look forward to seeing how Knowlesville progresses. Thank you for joining us this week. I look forward to talking more basketball with the resident expert next time. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the new year.
Williamson County was named after Dr. Hugh Williamson, a signer of the U.S. Constitution. The county was incorporated on October 26, 1799. The official seal was adopted in July 1968. The seal, designed by county historian Virginia Bowman and journalist James H. Armistead, was accepted by Judge Fulton Greer at the July 15, 1968 quarterly court term. It features 4 quadrants representing the diversity of the county. The upper left section depicts a flag and cannon which symbolizes the rich history in the county. The upper right quadrant shows a schoolhouse illustrating the importance of education. The lower left portrays a Bible in front of a church window which represents religion. The lower right segment shows farm animals denoting agriculture.